Hi, welcome back to my channel where the theme is whatever I feel like talking about that day. Today I'm walking through my solo Croatia trip expenses because budgeting for this trip was its own adventure. So if you like travel, solo energy, or just listening to someone think out loud, you're in the right place. So I started this video in part one and then I got cut off, so I'm going to continue. Um, so just going through my expenses, when I started planning this solo trip, I had an idea of what I thought it might cost. That's what's in the estimated cost. And then I did an estimated cost with what I thought I could do to save a little bit of money. And then as I booked things, I started to calculate the actual cost so I could know how much was left over and I could use that maybe for another trip. So we'll just go line by line. Maybe this can help you when you're budgeting for your next trip. All right, so the first thing I did was price out the airfare to Split. That was going to be around $1,200. But then as time went on, so let's start from the beginning actually. So I estimated this trip to be about $6,300. With some shenanigans involved, I thought I could get it down to about $4,200. So I could save about $2,000, which is about 30% off the original price, which is good. All right, so back to the flight. Round trip flights were estimated to be about $1,200. After I made that estimate, I just tried a couple of different things to see how I could get that down. One of the things I tried was trying to fly in and out of different parts of Croatia. So I was able to get it down by about $400 by flying into Split and then flying out of Dubrovnik. So that worked. And then when it was actually time to buy it, I just kept tracking it. So you can track flights with things like Google Flights. Kayak lets you do some tracking. And if you have Capital One Travel, they'll let you do some tracking. But I think I just did this manually because I was just excited. So I would just check. So I actually got that down almost half from what I thought it would be. So I was really happy about that. Ultimately, as you'll see in the second line, I bought this economy. I prefer to fly business class whenever it was possible, but I don't have any points right now to do that. So I was hoping at least one of the ways I could be able to ask for an upgrade at check-in. So I just wrote a note to that here. And I budgeted about $1,000. There's nothing I could think to get that cost down. So I left it at 1,000. Incidentally, when I booked the economy flight, Lufthansa actually let you upgrade it instantly. It was around $1,200 and I really wanted it around $900. So I didn't book it. I regret that because it went up about 6 weeks later because I was checking it every day for it to go down, but then it doubled and now I'm kind of out of luck. But I'm hoping maybe at check in, like on the actual day, there might be some opportunities. Right now, the 110 is because for one of the legs, since it'll be nighttime, I think it'll be manageable because I can at least take my motion sickness medicine and then that'll knock me out. So at least if I'm asleep, that'll help. But it's the one coming back where it's daytime and it's 10 hours. And anyway, so I said that to say the 110 is because I did buy a seat upgrade for an exit row seat. So that should help take the sting off all those hours in economy. So as you can see, I'm still tracking that. And then the next thing I budgeted for was I'm actually starting off the trip with a group trip with Gate One, and that cost was estimated to be 2418. I track a lot of their sales just from looking through old emails to see when they offered deals, and so I was hopeful that I would be able to get, if I booked early, I could save $500. And they have a solo supplement sale twice a year. And if I caught it, I would be able to save another $500. I was just hopeful it was before the October 9th date. And it was. So I was able to save $1,000 just by kind of tracking that. And then I saved a few more dollars because if you pay, I think this is 5%. If you pay with an e-check or just a check instead of a credit card, they'll give you a 5% discount. So I saved a few more dollars there. I don't get the credit card points, but I don't get 5% on any credit card. So that seemed worth it. But I rethink that because obviously those points can be worth more. But anyway, I try not to sweat the small stuff just yet. So I booked that and saved some money there. As you can see, that's finalized and booked. The other thing that I needed to budget for this trip was I'm staying an extra week, and those hotels were about $1,200. I estimated that I could get that down about half price because one of the credit cards I do have this year is the Strata Elite, and each year they give you a $300 hotel credit. So if I split the bookings over 2 years, so I booked half of it in 2025, at the end of 2025 to save 300, and then I booked the second half at the beginning of 2026 to save another 300. So I was able to get $600 off of that. And then just by tracking when the prices would fluctuate, they didn't fluctuate that much, just like $10 or $20. I was able to get all 6 nights for about $400 out of pocket. That includes the $600 of credit from the credit card. And then the last thing that I have is just kind of on the ground spending. The hotel I booked is supposed to be a half board hotel, so I really shouldn't be spending too much money on food. Half board means it comes with breakfast and dinner. I'll need to confirm that when I get there because I booked through a third party. Um, so we'll see about that. And let's see what else. And oh, this also includes a night in Dubrovnik that I wasn't able to get at a discount. Okay, so for the day trips, this $99 is the cost of. I've already bought two ferry tickets and I bought an excursion to go rafting. And so I should have about another $400 or so for just like things on the ground. I don't really spend a lot of money on like, I don't know, trinkets and stuff or what is it called? Souvenirs. And usually, historically, when I've gone with Gate One, they take care of everything. So I don't usually spend a lot of money there. So we'll see. But this is flexible. I mean, I've saved so much money from doing all my savings or like travel hacks that there's a little bit of leeway here. But I needed to know how much I could estimate it would cost so I could plan accordingly for the year. So yeah, that's how I budget my trip and what I plan to spend on traveling solo ish to Croatia this year.